It's hot out there, but let's blow them off the line of scrimmage.
Headline, Los Angeles.
Live from the Ram Cave, I'm Joe Trosian, and this is Ram View, the November 8th, 2025 edition, brought to you by Kistler Law Firm. Injured in an auto accident, need help, got questions? Call Kistler Law at 661-206-6990. That's Kistler Law at 661-206-6990. And check out KistlerLawFirm.com. That's one word. KistlerLawFirm.com. Kistler Law, been fighting for you since 92. And by Temple City Auto Repair. Having some auto issues, get yourself some John and Henry at TempleCityAutoRepair.com. And of course, new friend of the show, Sports Ball Games. Make game day funner for you and your crew. Play sports ball games. Play for a hill of beans or jelly beans. And we'll talk more about that as we go into the mid-show break. All right, we're here. Was not on yesterday, but I had a good excuse yesterday. My oven died. My oven broke, and it's Thanksgiving, and the fetching Mrs. Terosian wanted me to go buy a stove with her, and so I'm much poorer now. So you all have to buy my books. You all have to go to Kistler Law and check out all these other folks and demand everything so I can pay for this new stove. Unbelievable. All right, so building up, getting ready for the Ram game here. We know the news. News is out there, day late. Still plenty to talk about. Harrison Mevis is going to start over Josh Carty tomorrow. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's interesting that Carty wasn't put in the street. I think what we're seeing here is there's an exploratory thing. I think this is to find out about Chase Blackburn. What this feels like to me is everyone's pointing fingers, right? Carty's saying, it's coming in wrong. Blackburn saying this is doing this wrong. The operation guys up front are saying this is not where everyone's kind of pointing fingers. That's how I feel this is. So it's like, okay, let's find out if it's Carty, because Carty's not in the street. If they had lost all confidence in Carty, Carty would be gone. And so they're going to give this Harrison Mevis a shot to do it the thicker kicker. And I hope he does well, because this affects everything, right? It affects everything. If you're driving late in the game, if we had had a kicker in Detroit back in 2023, it would have been a completely different outcome, and it would have been the end of the game would have been pursued and prosecuted in a much different manner. But you need that kicker. You at least need the idea that you can rely on your kicker. So I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Like Josh Carty, I believe in Josh Carty. But we're going to find out, right? And I'm kind of anxious to see, is it going to be Jake McQuaid again, or is it going to be Alex Ward still out there, who's the long snapper? Because to sign both, there's something I think they're trying to settle what the issues are, because it's not working. It's not working. Hey, by the way, the Oakland Raiders, or the Las Vegas Raiders, fired their special teams coach after Thursday night, Tom McMahon. So you can fire a special teams coach in mid-season. All right, here we go. Bill, special team shakeup is stunning. Do you think this is too much of a gamble in a big game? I think the belief here is that if we don't get it done now, we're never going to get it done. And I don't think, how do we say this? The Frisco game, again, should not come down to a kick. It just shouldn't, right? But we know how it's a division game. We know how Shanahan gets in McVay's head a little bit. But you got to find out. You got to find out now, right? And so I don't have a problem with that at all. And looks like, it's the thicker kicker now. And then we're going to find out next week. Is Jake McQuaid going to play? If McQuaid's on the field this week, it's going to be really interesting. But it doesn't give you the impression that they don't know what it is, because Carty's not put in the street. It's just everyone's kind of saying, no, it's him, it's that, or it's what, and they're not sure, and they want to nail it down. Micah Gutierrez, also, thank you for joining us, Micah. If Mevis has a great game Sunday, I'd imagine Blackburn's seat gets a little cooler and Hardy's seat warms up. Yeah, I would think so too. But if there's another block, right? If there's another block, and again, what has Carty missed? 8 kicks this year, I think they said. is it 9 kicks or 8 kicks, and I think 5 of them have been blocked. At a certain point, that's not your kicker, guys. That's not your kicker. Let's see. Bill, maybe our kicker can play fullback at the goal line. Just joking. Willie would love that. McVay said Jake McQuaid will start. Oh, okay. All right. So it's total new operation. All right. I did not know that. I only saw thicker kicker. So there we go. USA X-Pac, I cannot wait for your Monday show to talk about our victory. I can't wait too. I'm going to be really caught up busy on Sunday, so I'm going to watch the game on about an hour or so delay. So I hope I'm able to get on. I'd like to get on right after the game or after I get done watching it and just do the breakdown of the game itself. I'm confident in this game. I really, really am confident in this game. Okay, yeah, Bill's confirming McQuaid is going to start for Alex Ward. I'm glad they're shaking things up. I know it's rough against Frisco, but I'm glad they're shaking things up because why wait, right? Why wait if you really believe this team can go the distance? And I also think the fact that, again, Rams didn't make that big move at the trade deadline is another way of saying to us subtly they think the team they got right now can go the distance. I never doubted Mac Jones would get the start this week. Mac Jones is still technically the backup quarterback for the 49ers. And if I'm Kyle Shanahan, I would always start a backup quarterback against the Rams. He's efficient. He's good. He's already beaten the Rams once. Purdy's going to have rust, and Purdy makes more, throws the ball. He gambles a little bit more, and that would play into what the Rams do. Mac Jones takes care of everything, and so that didn't surprise me. Mac Jones is going to start. Darius Williams is ready to rumble, which is great. And the only Ram player that really looks up in the air is Jordan Whittington right now. So Rams are healthy there. But if Jordan Whittington doesn't play, this thins out that wide receiver room just a little bit more, right? With Atwell already on the IR and Nakua perpetually banged up and always just one play away from the blue tent, right? We love Nakua. He's not dogging it or anything like that. But his style of play is going to send him to that blue tent a couple times a game. We don't know. He's going to come out of a game without being banged up. So that makes that wide receiver a little thin, and I think it lends itself again to the 13 personnel. And I think it was post-Frisco that we went to more of that 13 personnel look, and I'm sure Frisco's got that dialed up on their film. Salah's looking at it and such, but Rams are feeling comfortable there. And if you're running Devontae Adams and you're running Puka Nakua out there, Atwell's on the IR, Whittington's up in the air, that digresses right back down to Kanata Mumpfield, Xavier Smith, and if they want to activate anybody off the practice squad. So already you can see that little bit right there. It looks like it could get a little thin there in that wide receiver room, which is still exceptional. Just wanted to put that out there. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's go. All right. I'm feeling it's time for a scoop and score or a pick six. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take anything like that because I got the Rams defense on my fantasy team. Bill, what happens to the edge rusher Pierre Thomas? Who got hurt in the preseason? Keir Thomas. He is on injured reserve, and I think the Rams, to bring him back, I think they have to have him pass through waivers or something right now. Like everything else in life, they just move on, right? It looked like he was playing pretty good. He was doing some opening snaps and coming out of the game in the preseason, and those late snaps were all going to Nick Hampton and Brennan Jackson and those guys, and it looked like, Keir Thomas is going to make this team, and then he got hurt. And because they put him on injured reserve, I think during the preseason, he has to pass through waivers before he comes back. So I'm not sure what his status is going to be going forward. But, man, this guy just keeps treading water, and I was kind of hoping for a little bit of a breakthrough. Nick Hampton is still on the team, and he's getting about 2 to 5 snaps each week. Josiah Stewart has clearly passed him on the chart. So that room obviously looks set. And just get into the game itself. The best hope for Fog City is familiarity with the Rams, the ability to get inside Sean McVay's head and being at home. Everything else right now belongs to the Rams. Talent, health, energy, coaching, everything should belong to the Rams. And everything to me speaks of a significant, not a significant, but a 7-point plus win is very doable here because of the talent level. It's just we know what the Rams do when they play Frisco. I think this Rams team is, with the bye and a couple of wins put behind it, I think this team is ready to beat Frisco. The Rams got their noses bloodied already by Frisco, and I think they're depleted even more now. But I also think our young players are more inclined to punch back than to stop and think it over. I don't want the Rams really thinking in this game. I want the Rams reacting. I want the Rams just coming out there and doing damage, dictating action. I know we got the whole, shell high, don't let anything get behind you attitude, and it generally works. But watch this game against Frisco. Watch it. Where are the corners playing when the game starts? Has Shula made any adjustments? Are those corners like off the ball? Are they really off the ball seriously? Are Kendrick Bourne, Juwan Jennings, Demarcus Robinson getting all those easy releases? And if they get those easy releases, Mac Jones can just go bang, 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 bang to them. That's crazy, because if they allow that out of fear that Mac Jones is going to go over the top with this receiving core, it's going to be a long day for the Rams. So they have to come up, press those receivers just for a tick or so, make Jones take another beat, and give the pass rush the opportunity to get home. I think they're going to make that adjustment. I have to believe they'll make that adjustment. You can't be so stupid as to watch that film and see the easy pitch and catches that Jones had. If the Rams allow that again, this is where it goes, okay, is McVay overthinking and Shula's not bright, right? The apple has fallen far from the tree, so to speak, or has fallen far from the tree, because you're not getting it. I mean, it's plain to all of us. This is what the 49ers do to the Rams. Rams just are always in this passive, and this defense is too young, too energetic, too excited. I'll risk a couple of over-the-top plays. Just deliver some carnage up front, and that's what we need to see. And this is a team that's ripe to have carnage delivered to it, right? That's the part that gets frustrating every time you watch the 49ers, right? You just want to see them get beaten up, and the Rams are very slow to the uptake on that. Bill, do you think Odell Beckham could be a pickup when he comes back from a suspension in 2 weeks? I think that would be a long shot. I don't know. I think it would be a long shot because even when he was playing in Baltimore and Miami, they felt easy moving off of him. USA Expat, if Jones is throwing it quickly, then get your hands up on the line and bat him down. I'll take that one too. But I don't want him to have that free, like, okay, I know it's like snap, bang, boom, right? Snap, bang, boom. I got an open receiver, boom, I'm just going. And then you're relying on those talented receivers, the talents of the receivers physically, who usually most of the Rams corners are outmatched physically. They break a tackle, and next thing you know, a 6-yard route becomes a 15-yard gain. And we've seen this. We've lived with this for years now with the Rams. Bill, should the Rams take the ball first if they win the coin and try to get off to a good start? No, I like the second half kickoff. I'd come out and just say, it's on you, defense. Go in there and knock some heads, right? I would definitely defer. Manny Vasquez, absolutely a Ram. Rams corners gave too much cushion to the San Francisco wide receivers. Hopefully they are more aggressive in this game. And that's something that happens sometimes. I know Raheem Morris in 2022, I used to post, every time I posted, hashtag fire Raheem. I couldn't believe it. The Rams weren't going anywhere, right? They weren't going anywhere. And yet they're losing to backup quarterbacks. They're losing to Colt McCoy. I'll never forget the game that the Cardinals played the Rams at SoFi in 2022. And I got home from church, I raced in, and then all of a sudden I found out Colt McCoy was starting instead of Kyler Murray, and I said they're toast. They're toast because Murray is incapable of the discipline of just taking the ball, snap, bing, bang, boom. He's incapable of that. Colt McCoy, a veteran backup, he's going to take everything that's given to him. And Raheem Morris that whole year just backed off on everything, backed off, and the Rams got torn apart. It's 3rd and 5, and the CBs are 10 yards down upfield from the wide receiver. It was sickening to watch. It was like that a lot early in 2021, and then he tightened things up in the back half of the season. 2023, much more pressure, much more press coverage on these wide receivers they did, and it made all the difference. And then in watching Shula and that defense in what was it? It was week 4? What was it? Week 3? What were we at? Philly was week 3. But when we played the 49ers at SoFi, it was like a revisit of that old nightmare. It was like a revisit of that old nightmare. And it's like, come on, guys. I mean, if I could see it from the Ram cave, and there are people smarter than me, you got to see this. You got to see this and make adjustment here. Make an absolute adjustment. Bill, what do you think of the percent of 13 personnel will be in this game? Well, like we talked about with Whittington up in the air, that really lowers the wide receiver room down to Xavier Smith and Kanata Mumfield and whoever maybe they activate off of the practice squad, or it means heavy doses of 13 personnel. Now, the 13 personnel we really engaged after the Frisco game this year. Frisco's probably definitely watching a lot of film on it. Salah's a smart guy. I just don't know if Salah has all the troops anymore. They've lost Michael Williams, their number 1 draft pick, pass rusher gone. Fred Warner's gone. Bosa's gone. Again, the spirit might be willing, but the flesh is weak. They don't have enough. And so you'd love to see the Rams bully them a little bit and then have those options, right? George Kittle didn't play in the first game. George Kittle's back now, but also we've incorporated Terrence Ferguson a little bit more, and maybe we need to give them a bigger dose of Terrence Ferguson because Ferguson, like a receiver, can get downfield, unlike Higbee, Allen, and Parkinson, not to throw those guys under the bus. USA X-Pac, 40 to 45%, 13 personnel. All right. Hey, I got no problem as long as it ends with a W. And it ends with a W that kind of what would really be gravy would be a W that ends like the Saints game last week, right? Where it's start of the 4th quarter. It's like, this is nice. Now it's all about we can rant, make our posts about getting Stafford out of the game, right? So if they take away the easy releases, if Mac Jones has to take another beat, if giving the pass rush opportunity to get home, I'm confident the Rams are going to win this one. I'm so confident I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Rams 34-20. In fact, I'm going to put it right here in the box so you guys can hold me accountable and everything. So boom, there we go. That's what I'm posting right there. Rams 34-20. Micah, I always feel worse in this game, and it doesn't help that this one is the most important game on our schedule thus far. 2 things. It's critically important because you don't want to be 0-3 or 0-2. What would we be right now? 0-2 in the division. We haven't played. Yeah, we've only played Frisco. We haven't played the Cardinals yet. We haven't played the Seahawks yet. And I can handle being 4-2 in the division when the season is over, but you still got some tough games there against Seattle, and that would hurt. We're seeing a crash and burn right now. We don't expect Dallas to ascend. The Texans are falling apart. We'll hope Indy takes care of Atlanta this week, so Atlanta keeps getting squashed down, not only for the draft pick, but if Rams lose this game, it's the season. The season's not over, but it would definitely probably lend itself to more of a wild card. But you got to win this game. I mean, you got to win this game. I'm confident the Rams are going to win this game. It'll never be as pretty as we want it to be, but the Rams are going to win this game. I think they recognize they have to. Manny, Rams 37-16. All right. Let's see. Kim, US Expat, 27-10. I think you guys are feeling this, huh? Manuel, Rams need to make a statement in this game. If they get a good lead, McVay needs to go for the jugular and put them away. Yeah, I'm all for that. Except if I'm up 40-10, I don't want to see Stafford in the last 5 minutes. Bill, do you think Corum will get the same amount of carries he had last game or more? That's interesting. If there's a lot of 13 personnel, the options there are to run and to pass. I hope they keep giving it to him. Corum's got something to show now. It was against Frisco that the bottom dropped out of his Ram existence, right? For him and Kyron. They both have to – I got to think they're both pretty motivated right now. Ball security and to deliver some man damage going forward. So, I would hope they would pound the ball. I love it. Everyone loves passing. I got to tell you, covering football, not only because the time goes quicker when you run the ball and you get back for deadline on time when you're at the paper, but what I love about it, it's just imposing your will. It's like you can't stop it. If you ever watched USC in the glory days of Tailback U, just that student body right, it was just they could not stop it. And it's 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, and then a home run, right? It's just you just break down the will of an opponent, and I think that's what we want, right? We don't just want to beat Frisco, we want to drive their nose into the dirt, right? I think that's what we want. I say that as humbly as possible as a minister. There we go. All right, let's just look at it's a Saturday morning. You guys got things to do. Let's look at the schedule. Raiders at Broncos. We saw that one. Broncos won. I took the Broncos in that one, so I'm feeling good. It was a real interesting game. I noticed on Friday morning that Colin Cowherd slithered off the Bo Nix bandwagon. Man, I would never want to be in a foxhole with that guy. He'll use the thing new information, right? But never be in a foxhole with Colin Cowherd because, boy, he was all done on Bo Nix after Thursday night. If Sean Payton's done with Bo Nix and he just wants to put him in the street, Rams, give him a phone call. I would give Bo Nix definitely a phone call. And then things just get bad with Las Vegas. They're brutal. Gina did not work out. Okay, Berlin Falcons at the Colts. Indy, DeForest Buckner got put on the injured reserve. That's kind of a big deal for them. Indy has a shot. This is the last week. Of course, I'm rooting against the Falcons, but Indy has a shot right now to prove that everything that happened the first half of the season was legit. Did it happen? Was it legit? Is it good? And such. Or they can start showing, they're coming back to earth. And that's not going to be good for Daniel Jones and his next contract. So this week, I'm picking still Indy, the Colts in Berlin. It's good for the Rams that the Falcons get knocked further down in the NFC playoff picture. We want them their morale to be in the toilet when the Rams go there on a Monday night. And of course, Rams right now, I double checked again. You guys shared it in the last show. Rams hold the 11th overall pick right now. A little more nudging of the Falcons can get the Rams into the top 10. How sweet would that be? Colts over the Falcons. Saints at Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints pulled something here because Tyler Shug showed a lot against a pretty good Rams defense. He gets the ball out of his hands quick. Panthers aren't as good as the Rams, but I'm going to take the Panthers. They keep winning some of these ugly games. They won in Lambeau, so I'm taking the Panthers at home. Giants at Bears. I'm taking the Bears. There's just not enough Giants around. Jaguars at Texans. I'm going to go with the Jags. They need to win this game, division game. They got the Texans on the ropes here. No C.J. Stroud. Bills at the Dolphins. We're going to take the Bills in that one. Ravens at the Vikings. That one's a little bit interesting because people are all caught up still. Everyone bows at the throne of the Vikings, and I just don't understand it. I'm taking the Ravens in this one, but I would not be upset. I'm taking the Ravens because I don't like the Vikings to win. I'm taking the Ravens because I want the Vikings pushed down in the NFC wildcard race. But if there's one aspect of the Vikings winning I would like to see J.J. McCarthy get the win against the Ravens because, again, I did catch Colin Cowherd, and he's out on Bo Nix, and he's been out on J.J. McCarthy since the get-go. And this is what Coward does. He picks a guy he doesn't like, and he just sticks with it. I first listened to him probably about 15, 16 years ago. He was still at ESPN and on the radio, and I'm taking my daughters to school, and I would hear him. And he just hated Aaron Rodgers. He thought Aaron Rodgers was so overrated. And do you remember the playoff game real early in Aaron Rodgers' career where I think it was 2009? He was perfect. He played a perfect game on the road against Atlanta, and they won that game. And the next day, Coward's getting on there talking about what's wrong. He just gets a bug in his system, and he's got to prove that a guy's bad. It was like that with Tebow. It's all Tebow's terrible. Tebow's terrible. And then for 10 weeks in a row, I had to hear Coward and Trent Dilfer tell me every week how bad Tebow was after the Broncos won. Broncos were 1-4 with Kyle Orton. Tebow comes in, takes them to the second round of the playoffs, including a win over the Steelers. And every week I'm hearing how bad Tebow is, right? And I'm hearing the same thing now with J.J. McCarthy. So, yeah, I do kind of like it when one of these guys gets success. Let's see here. Browns at Jets. Man, that's, what's that one? If the Browns and Jets were in the forest, would anyone notice? I'm going to take the Jets just because they're the home team. There you go. I'm taking the Jets because they're the home team. Patriots at Buccaneers, rooting for the Patriots. But I'm taking the Buccaneers at home. Cardinals at the Seahawks, rooting for the Cardinals, of course. Cardinals will be a little bit more dangerous. I think they're going to be a little more motivated knowing Jacoby Brissett is their guy going forward. But we're going to find out about the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks was really interesting. Is it Horton? Is it Trey Horton? I forget the kid's name. He's the wide receiver they drafted that's playing really well right now. Then, of course, you got JSN. And then they made the trade for Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. Gave a 4th and a 6th. So this guy's going to play. What does that tell you about Cooper Kupp? And Kupp hasn't been horrible, but what does that tell you, Cooper Kupp? Right? I'm real curious what they think of Cooper Kupp right now. I like Cooper Kupp, but again, it's the Rams made the right move. Rams at 49ers are taking the Rams 34-20. Looks like you guys are taking the Rams too. Lions at Taxkins. Yeah, Lions need to win this one if we have to believe. And then Sunday night, Steelers at Chargers. Too much bad Spanos mojo and not enough people to block the Steelers pass rush. So I'm taking the Steelers at SoFi on Sunday night. Steeler fan Rob will be happy. And then, of course, on Monday night, Eagles at Packers. I'm going to take the Packers at Lambeau, but the guy I keep an eye on, I always say this because I don't think Micah Parsons is that good or that much of a difference maker. He's a good player, obviously, but is he that much of a difference maker? And Micah Parsons is in Green Bay for games like this against a team like the Eagles. Just, again, something to keep an eye on. Bill, Davis Allen is dangerous in the open space. Davis Allen has gotten some clicks this year, but he's got 3 touchdowns this year. Yeah, Davis Allen's played well. Mike Gutierrez hoping for a Kyron redemption game. The Niners defense will play with nothing to lose, just like they did at SoFi. And I think you can offset nothing to lose. Now they're 5-3. Frisco is 5-3 or 6-3. So they're still in this hunt, but I think they're doing it with baling wire and duct tape, right? They're just trying to hold it together. And at a certain point, you just can't hold it together when you lose your stars. But, you could say that they got nothing to lose playing against a better team. But you know what? The Rams could play angry. And if the Rams play angry, I think it'll trump small t, nothing to lose. Rams should play angry. Rams should play like this is their Super Bowl and just, again, grind them into the dirt, right? Grind them into the dirt. That's how I'm feeling about it right now. Just grind them into the dirt. All right. USA Expat, loving Manny's score prediction. Yeah, me too. I'm loving it all. Okay, guys. Got you on the tablet from hell. Tim Burns, I know you've had some tech issues, Mr. Burns. Sorry about that difficult existence. But hey, as long as you're watching the Ram game tomorrow, living up in NorCal, Mr. Burns, how do you get the Rams? I mean, Oh, no, you will because it's the 49er country. Okay, so you get to see that one. There you go. Hopefully not on the tablet from hell. All right, I just want to say thank you to Paul Kistler and our sponsors at Kistler Law. They are fantastic. They support us in everything that we do. So check them out if you have an auto injury question. And of course, Sports Ball Games. They are a new friend to the show, fledgling startup. And sometimes some of the fun has been lost in sports because the gambling stuff has become so prevalent. And I'm not judging you for gambling. I'm just saying I don't. And it just dominates a lot of conversation. But with sports ball games, if you're looking for a way to bring your crew together on game day without gambling stress or fantasy overload, try sports ball games. Free pick'em and squares, live leaderboards, bragging rights built in. One click and you're in. No fees, no spreadsheets, no headaches, just sports fun for your whole group to enjoy. Whether it's you're cheering from the break room or the backyard, sports ball games makes every game day a team event. Play for fun, brag for real. Join sportsball.com and check it out. All right, cool. We got that up. Rod, Joe, what's up? Go Rams. What's up is new combination there on the special teams with McQuaid and Mevis. So the Rams are going to find out what the issues are. And I think the Rams are going to beat the 49ers. I'm confident in this one. I was cautiously confident in the first game against the 49ers. This one I am feeling confident about. Bill, best Rams chat. Thank you, Pastor Joe. Well, thank you very much, man. I do appreciate that. Yeah, we just do what our niche is, right? I'm slowly getting bells and whistles in here, right? I'm slowly getting all the cool, stuff, slowly working things in. But I do appreciate you guys coming in and doing this. I'm hoping to use some video real soon and being able to show that. So, all right, cool. We're at the 30-minute mark. It's a Saturday. I'm sure you guys want to get your day started. I have YouTube TV. I'm about to move off of YouTube TV, but I thought it was kind of funny is that I can't watch anything on ABC or ESPN because they're in a fight now, which is hilarious. Let's see. Rod, I always liked Mevis. Okay, I want to like him. I want to like him. In fact, I want to love him, man. I want him here for 10 years. I want that confidence Matt Gay gave us. I want that confidence Jeff Wilkins gave us. Zerline, I was confident in, but he had that screwball kick, right? That would start this way and come back. He was always a little bit of a high wire there with Zerline, but I want Mevis to succeed. There we go. Let's see. Tim Burns, seeing word Shanahan likes Mac, his other quarterback. Only problem is they gave $50 million. They gave $50 million to Brock Purdy. So, the one thing I do wonder is that some of these guys are so system related and coach related that, finally, everyone was out on Mac. He went to the playoffs his first year with Belichick, right? I went to the playoffs his first year, and then everyone was out on him. Everyone was done on him. He goes to Shanahan. He gets redeemed, right? Now Mayfield is an exception. Mayfield left the Rams. He had Liam Cohen as his OC there, so that kind of helped. But where does Mac Jones go and prosper? Because you're stuck with Purdy, right? You're stuck with the 50 rocks you're paying Purdy. And I don't think Purdy's a bad quarterback. Purdy would have won a Super Bowl if he had a better head coach in game management situations. But where do you go? Where do you send Mac Jones? Because you're going to have to run something similar to that system, right? And be that quarterback guy that speaks into his ear. Real interesting. Rod, I'm in Missouri, so was a fan when he was at Mizzou. Oh, whoa, another, I got a Steeler fan in Missouri too, Rod. Wow. All right. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, what part of, you live, I've been through Missouri quite a bit. I'm not going to ask you where you live, but I almost got run off the road a few times in Missouri. All right. So you're an old St. Louis Ram fan. All right. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. Okay. Guys, I got to let you go, but it's been great being here. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I think we're good. I think I got it all. All right. We're going to let this thing ride. I hope to see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you real early on Monday morning. Okay. God bless. Southern part of Missouri. Okay. So you're near Branson. Be sure to hit like and subscribe on YouTube. God bless, guys. Go Rams. Thanks for your patience. Rams win tomorrow.